Atlanta Motor Speedway. These next-gen cars are about to turn 130 laps at the famed Atlanta, and we're ready to go racing. The pace truck peels off next-gen with draft racing once again. Perrin Huggins on the front row, Dakota Dahl on the outside. Green flag is out at Atlanta. And already the cars are tight together and struggling to find space. Flying into that first corner, Connor Cordes sitting third. Single file, 4 cars deep, Jordan Haynes. 3 wins this season, but also a couple of DNFs. Jordan Haynes, third in those points, 27 markers behind Perrin Huggins. Here's a name you haven't heard in 84 years, Derek Sherman. In that number 42 sits behind Ryan Pasocco in that 2. Tim Duggar Chevrolet with Dakota Dahl to the inside. Pasocco did just go purple, 29.9 seconds. Jordan Haynes already exploring outer lands. 3 cars deep, that front pack. Starts to extend. But the little blue Ford of Dakota Dahl sitting behind that 1 Chevrolet, trying to get out of turn number 4. Derek Sherman, the newcomer. Well, I say newcomer. Derek Sherman's been around ENEA for a very long time, and I mean since day 1, when they called him ENEA Hydra. However, Sherman coming out here, it literally has been 1,000 years since we've seen him race, so it does feel like he's a newcomer again. But the Ryko Chevrolet doing his thing in the 7th spot. Talking about those NFL scores, let's get to it right now. The Vikings are up 7-0 on San Francisco. And in Game 7 of the ALCS, Texas is up 3-1 at the top of the 2nd inning. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, guess what? Derek Sherman just went purple. 29.59. Give it up for my man Sherman. Fastest on track. Jacksonville's finest. Right up behind the rookie, Pete Yetman. And you got to give it up to this newcomer, this for-real newcomer, Pete Yetman, in that 2-1 Chevy behind Jordan Haynes in that 1 car, down that front straight at 1,000,000 decibels an hour. Let's turn those guys down. They are loud down there. We got to tell them to shut up. You over there in your race cars, keep it down. Ryan Pasocco in that 9th position. Right behind that 2-4, James Staples, sitting to the inside of Dakota Dahl as Connor Cordes goes extremely high. Pete Yetman to his inside out of turn number 4. Still side by side down that front straight. Cordes almost struggling to keep his car in one straight line, and Sherman goes around him. Cordes in that 5. Yetman in that 2-1 to his outside down the front straight. Cordes getting ahead of Sherman out of turn number 4 as well. Let's take another look at that pass. Connor Cordes being heroic down that front straight. Check this out. Oh, Yetman just goes really high out of turn number 4. He's going to lose a few positions. Mike Bennett goes green. Ryan Pasocco goes green. Sherman still quickest. 4 minutes to go in that first quarter. Racing Ricky says, have a great broadcast tonight. Good luck, son. Shout out to all the folks in and around Bealton, Virginia, and the native son, the number 91 of Justin Shoup, in that Coors Banquet Chevrolet, behind the Coors Banquet Chevrolet of Jacob Prince. Dakota Dahl on the high side and Jordan Haynes on the outside, trying to make that top line work. Well, it's going to take a lot of time and patience, but he's putting the work in, trying to lay the rubber on that outer line. Jordan Haynes coming into tonight's race, third in the points standings, currently in the playoffs. But of course, that regular season championship is something to fight for. Mike Bennett in the top 7 as well, being ushered along by the 9 of Jake Prince. Let's go on board with the 19 of Mike Bennett. Probably the craziest 30 seconds. You need to focus everything. And the Connecticut pilot behind Pasocco in the 2 from Sturbridge, Massachusetts. And the Northeasterners nose to tail with Jordan Haynes. Still on the outside, Dakota Dahl behind him. Further on back, Lucas Reed in the number 3, sitting behind defending champion Cody Johnson. The 08. Being patient in the Flow Racing Chevrolet. He sits behind the 9-1 of Justin Shoup. Both those Coors cars trying their hardest. Sherman still up front, and you got to give it up to Sherman. He knows what he's doing. He's now on the inside, almost getting into the 5 of Connor Cordes. How about Ryan Lindemann going high, wide, and almost way too handsome into the outside turn 4 wall. Lindemann in that 2-8. Now trying to get around the 0-8. Cody Johnson keeping one eye on that football game. 49ers have the ball. They're down 7 with $1:50 left in this first quarter. And they're what, on the Vikings 49? And throws it way too high. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the 49ers trying to score their first points of the game. Looking at that baseball game, still 3-1 top of the second, Texas over Houston. And relatively, you got to be thinking that's got to be a relatively short journey for those guys, doesn't it? You know, when you think about how many teams they have to play and how much they have to travel. I mean, this is, what, just a short flight across the state. We're talking less than an hour. I don't know, somebody that knows aviation better than I do. How much, what, actually, matter of fact, I'll Google it myself, the flight from Houston to Texas. You know what? Actually, I'm too damn lazy. I'm not going to do it. But somebody out there, Google the flight from Houston to Texas. Let me know how long it is. Put it in the chat. I'm not paying attention to this race. Perrin Huggins is out front. Dakota Long is in that 2nd position. Perrin Huggins, I'm pretty sure he won last week at the Kansas Speedway. Matter of fact, I'm almost certain now that he won last week at the Kansas Speedway. Still leading right here with Dakota Long just behind him. Dakota Long comes into this race 10th in the points. Perrin Huggins comes into this race with the points lead. 3 wins this season. He's equaled Jordan Haynes with an average start of 3rd. Perrin Huggins looking to be the first 4-time winner this season in the Driven Car Wash Chevrolet. And behind him, it's Grimace in the 2-3. This is what that giant purple thing looks like from the back of Perrin Huggins' car. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Going on board James Staples, who was low on the inside. Dakota Dahl jumps immediately to the pit. No, he doesn't. He's right there, but I thought he jumped immediately to the pits, but he didn't jump nowhere. Dakota Dahl jumping right to the back. He was involved in this wreck, and I'm willing to bet more than 1 or 2 drivers got involved. Let's see what happened to the 10. Haynes behind him. And, well, that's one angle. But Jordan Haynes seems to be on the giving end of that incident. Look at the double 8. You got to be kidding me. Matt Seeger just missing that by a hair. Check this out. Looks like the 10's just moving as the 1's getting up close to him. Probably just wrecked my phone by pulling the charge cable out of it. Let's try taking another look at this. Yeah, just bad angle there. Let's have another look. All right, I want to see this from the 1's point of view. Let's go to the blimp and check this one out. And even there, you just see it, and unfortunately, there's nothing James Staples could do. And that's just going to be a product of bum drafting at these tracks. All right, let's get a different point of view here. Yeah, the 1's just trying to bum draft coming out of a corner. It's just not a good move. I know these next-gen cars have a lot of control. A lot of these drivers think that they can indeed bump draft out here, but just bump drafting, is just it's just no good in the corners. It's eventually it's going to end up in things like this, and that's what happened to Dakota Dahl. But I want to see Matt Seeger's point of view. Check this out. One more time, because that's just awesome. Matt Seeger from the cockpit. That's unbelievable. That's just fantastic. It's slick moves like that that's going to earn Matt Seeger his very own Cole Trickle move of the race.
Ice cream.
Jabari Rogers saying that 1 car's looking fast. Matt Haynes, excuse me. Matt Seeger in the 88. Jordan Haynes in that 3. Jordan Haynes in the 1. I have no idea. I am not focusing. Jordan Haynes is in the 1 with 3 wins this season. How about that? That makes some sense. He's in that 1 car with 3 wins this season. He's going to be restarting on the inside of row 4, I think, if I can count. Nope, inside of row 3. He's just hanging way back. He's being scored in 6th. But we're about to go racing, and if I can get a hold of the timing and scoring and myself, we can enjoy the rest of this race. We're going to get the green flag coming to lap number 24. Dakota Long and Connor Cordes on the front row. Everybody came down under lap 21 for tires and fuel, waiting for the signal. Green flag is out. And Dakota Long leads the first lap after restart. Derek Sherman behind him in that 42, then follows Connor Cordes in the number 3 Jack and Coke Chevrolet. Jordan Haynes trying to be the first to 4 wins, and the guy who's battling him for that mark is right behind him. Perrin Huggins does not have a reputation for staying patient, as does the 1 car have that same reputation. Huggins now pushing that 1 car. Cordes jumps to the outside, everybody going flat on that apron down the front straight, and they're going to find themselves in some trouble if they don't get a hold of their race cars. Vikings now have the ball with 14:53 to go in the second quarter, and they're up 7-0 on San Francisco. Looking at the ALCS, Game 7, Houston still down by 2 runs to the Texans in the bottom of the second inning. And Racing Ricky showing some love, showing some knowledge. Thank you, Ricky. Derek Sherman in that 42. Look at the old dog trying to get up to the front of this race. 3 wide at the front. Jordan Haynes sandwiched between the 23 and the 1. The 5 of Connor Cordes getting kicked to the curb. Haynes on the outside. Long going to drag race. What an awesome display. The 1 car on the outside of that 23. And that Grimace Camry now leading undisputed. Derek Sherman, who has not raced ENEA since the summer of 1988, is running in the 2nd position. The native of Jacksonville trying to do one for the Sunshine State. Jake Prince behind him, single file, 4 cars back. Jordan Haynes now pushing Perrin Huggins to the front of this race. Long at the front, undisputed. Derek Sherman behind him. Pasoko to the inside. How about Perrin Huggins trying to find some way to move around this racetrack? The 2-4 of James Staples on the inside. Behind them, Justin Shoup in that 91. On the outside of that 19. The 9 car, Jake Prince, on the outside with the 8 of Huggins behind him. And now Pasoko to the inside. 8-9 back to front. 42 behind that 2-3 car. And Racing Ricky, about 5 announcers that they work with every other weekend. Well, Justin and I will definitely be talking at the end of this one. 100 laps to go this time by. Looking at the NFL game right now, Vikings up 7-0 on San Francisco. They still have the ball. Cousins going to throw it to the right side of the field. It's going to be caught, and it's going to be a first down for Minnesota. Receiver runs out of bounds, so the clock will keep moving here. Does it? I have no idea how the clock works anymore, but ticks under 13 minutes now. The 2-4 Vikings line up against the 5-1 San Francisco 49ers. Up 7 points. Jacob Prince gets to the lead, unsurprisingly. He knows how to draft well. Let's take another look at that awesome pass for the lead. Prince ahead of the 8. Perrin Huggins just finds his way to the front on the front end of that 8 car. Jacob Prince leading this race. Perrin Huggins in second. Jordan Haynes back to the front, but who will help him get to the front? Prince behind that 1 car indeed. 3 wide behind them now. Justin Shoup trying to push that 1. Derek Sherman in that 42 on the inside. Jordan Haynes middle lane in that 2-3 out the front. Trying to go through that 1 car almost. 19 of Michael Bennett goes to the inside. Justin Shoup will round out the top 10 with Lucas Reed now creeping up into that top 10 spot. Jake Prince continues to lead, and this is what the world looks like from that 9. And the caution is out on lap 35. The 2-3 of Dakota Long has been involved. The 1 of Jordan Haynes is involved. Justin Shoup in the 91 caught a piece of that. Second caution, lap 35. First caution coming on lap 20. Justin Shoup, Jordan Haynes, Dakota Long officially involved. Let's have a look. I'll give you one guess in 2 words as to what occurred at a turn number 4. Justin Shoup, an innocent bystander in this one. Let's have a look. Bump drafting out of turn number 4. Jordan Haynes. Bump drafting the 1 of Dakota Dahl. Sent the 10 car loose. Have a look at this. This is on lap 20. And now on lap 35. Once more, lap 20, Dakota Dahl. Lap 35, Jordan Haynes. And a look at the blimp. There it is, just the 2-3 behind that 1 car. They make contact. Nowhere that Justin Shoup could go. I'll look at Dakota Long as he caught a piece of it too. He just couldn't escape. Where Jordan Haynes was fortunate to escape, Dakota Long could not. Matt Seeger again smartly avoiding that one. Dakota Dahl avoids this accident. Pete Yetman avoids the accident. Jordan Haynes continues. And 2 of the strongest drivers this season involved in both cautions. And really, let's call it what it is. 2 of the best drivers this season. Just the catalyst of both cautions tonight. And they may have to use that fast repair. We'll see. Jacob Prince sits behind Perrin Huggins. And the drivers will continue to rotate around Atlanta. We're only going to take a 30-second break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back in 30 seconds with more Next Gen Racing and the green flag. Jacob Prince at the front of this field pair, and Huggins will start to his left-hand side. The old dog with the new tricks, Derek Sherman, to the inside of row number 2. Green flag will come out inside 100 laps to go. There's the signal. Great jump, and we're racing again. Sherm riding in third, the sentimental favorite tonight, and you got to be rooting for the newcomer who hasn't been here since the mid-50s. Derek Sherman in that 42. Right behind Perrin Huggins in that 8. Joint winningest driver this season with Jordan Haynes in the one who was just involved in that most recent crash. Haynes still on the lead lap, but he may just be out of fast repairs. Haynes, the catalyst of an accident out of turn number 4, this time caught up in an accident out of the same corner and due to bump drafting. Dakota Long on the giving end of caution number 2, but both drivers getting caught up, both drivers repairing their cars and back in fighting shape. We hope to see them running at the end of this one. Connor Cordes, the pride of Kansas City, Missouri, on the outside of the 4-2 Derek Sherman. Jacob Prince from Greenwood, South Carolina, leading this field. No longer Cordes cuts in front of Prince. 5-car new leader. You want to talk about cutting it close. These guys are brave running up against the wall like that. Defending champion Cody Bartholomew Johnson sitting in that 3rd position on the outside. I have no idea what the B stands for, but I'm going to make up something different every single time I reference his middle initial. Cody Brittany Johnson in that 3rd position, right ahead of Derek Sherman in that 42. Johnson to the inside. CBJ wants a piece of that lead. Cody Brandon getting a little shove from the 13 of Sean Anderson. Cody Johnson leading the low line. Connor Cordes still leading the top line. And despite the chaos that you see on the racetrack, these guys are holding it together for the most part. We're inside of the final 90 laps of this race. If you've just tuned in, it's only been a couple of cautions so far, but still a thriller nonetheless. We're also covering the Lions, the Vikings. Forget the Vikings. But we are covering the Vikings and the 49ers score tonight. It looks like it's 7-0 Vikings trying to, they're almost going to get their next touchdown here. Looking at the Texans and the Astros. The Texans? No, I'm sorry. The Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. 4-1 top of the 3rd. Winner moves on, and the winner stays alive. So the Rangers right now ahead in that game. And it looks like a throw just went out of the end zone for the Vikings. So still 7-0 Minnesota ahead of San Francisco. The 2-4 Vikings looking to pull one over the 5-1 San Francisco 49ers. And the 5-car of Connor Cordes continues to lead this race. 85 laps to go by my terrible math. Perrin Huggins sits ahead of Derek Sherman with the 2-1 of Pete Yetman, sitting ahead of Lucas Reed in that number 3. And you got to give it up to Luke. He's up 11 places from where he started this race. And also Dakota Long, who was just caught up in that most recent caution. And Long has drafted his way on the nose of Jacob Prince, right back inside the top 5. Jordan Haynes was also caught up in that crash. He's still on the outside line, this time behind the 19 of Michael Bennett. Cody McFadden, the Packers fan, behind the number 1. Let's go on board with McFadden. Dakota Long spins out of the 2nd corner. You just saw him slow. What happened to the 23? Nope, that is lap 35. What in the world just happened to Dakota Long? Have a look. On the front of Jacob Prince's number 9. Was there contact? There was contact, and the 23 goes for a spill. Have a look. And from a different angle here. Long does a beautiful job of saving it, by the way. Take nothing away from that. An incredible job of saving the race car. But he worked his way up from almost dead last on the restart. Oh, it looks like he just touches the red line. He comes up on the racetrack. Jacob Prince refuses to lift. And Long goes for a spill. Connor Cordes may have also lost a whole ton of positions here. Car number 5. Nope, just a big blink for Connor Cordes. As we're watching that replay, got really nervous for a second. But Long gets shuffled to the back, and that's the 3rd time tonight we've seen bump drafting go wrong. Derek Sherman tries to cut off Pete Yetman, but the rookie drafts his way into that 3rd position. Yetman sitting ahead of Sherman, that 42. 5-8, top 2. Perrin Huggins looking for win number 4 this season. Dakota Long was looking for win number 1, and he is just trying to stay on this lead lap. Of course, anything is possible for that 2-3. Huggins behind the 5. 2-1 of Yetman on the outside. How about Massachusetts' Ryan Pasocco? He's in front of the 9 of Jake Prince. Still, 79 laps to go in this race, but he's doing fantastic. Drag race for the lead, and if Pete Yetman gets out front and stays out front, I'll just be incredibly impressed, because Pete has done a great job this season. Let's make no mistake about it. He's not a bad driver at all. I'm not saying he's a bad driver, but with the caliber of drivers that you have up front, Dakota Long, Perrin Huggins, Jacob Prince, Jordan Haynes, who's just hit the wall and potentially crippled his entire chances to win this race. With those, I think I named 5 or 6 drivers there. Pete Yetman in 4th just shows how good he is at being patient and using the draft. I was talking to Pete before the race started. Just said, be patient. Hang at the back. Pete has been patient. He's saved his car. Now he and Ryan Pasocco nose to tail. Well, and almost upside down, Pete Yetman. Again, getting a big bump off of turn number 4. Almost turned him around. High side. Is it now working? Is this the racetrack that Jordan Haynes always wanted? But now, has he damaged his car too much to enjoy the fruits of that high side labor? Cordes directing this high-speed orchestra on that high line. Prince to the inside in the number 9, and he wants to dance on the left side of the 5 car down that front straight. Prince with a tail full of defending champion Cody Bertrand Johnson in that Chevrolet, and the 2-8 of Lindemann wants to play too. Prince in the 9 behind the 5 of Connor Cordes, now coming to complete lap number 5-6. Huggins falling just a little bit off the pace here, but he's got Sherm to catch him. Look at these guys going 3 wide down the front straight. They've got stones. Von Henschel just ahead of the 2-1 and the 2 who almost made contact behind them. Double wide for the 2-4 and the 3 of Staples and Reed. And then you've got the 19, Michael Bennett. Just waiting, just being patient. Said he did this paint scheme for his son as well. Let's give some love to this paint scheme. Mike Bennett doing, and they crash behind them. There goes Pete Yetman, and it's all over for that 21. For now, at least. And the 2-1 of Pete Yetman gets caught up there just as we were talking about the 19 of Mike Bennett, that paint scheme that he designed for his son, that awesome chrome color that he's got there. Looking great, Mikey. And shout out to young Mr. Bennett as well. Let's go back and see what happened to Pete Yetman. The caution came out, and Pete Yetman got Pete Yeatman into turn number 4. He just gets in the wall, tries to come off it. Nowhere Lucas Reed could go. Yetman does a pirouette, and he stops right on the safer barrier. And one more look here. Yeah, just nowhere for Lucas Reed to go. And I would say that's the first crash this season that's not been a result of bump drafting here. Let's have a look at Dakota Dahl. It's off turn number 4, caution number 1. Jordan Haynes behind that 10. Caution number 2. Jordan Haynes in front of the 2-3. And then this most recent caution, Pete Yetman goes for a fun spin. And the third caution is out. So Connor Cordes will come out with the race lead. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 2-minute break. Looking at the Vikings and the 49ers, it is 10-0 Minnesota with 4:59 to go. And looking at that baseball game, Texas Rangers up now 4-2 on the Houston Astros in the bottom of the third. Fans, don't go anywhere. Back in 2 with the restart and more racing from iRacing's Atlanta. Back to racing at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jacob Prince, Connor Cordes will have the share of the front row when we go back to green. 70 laps remain in this race. Kyle Chafin, who I just learned today has been working on the railroad for the last 14 years, just doing awesome stuff. Says good luck, guys, and good luck indeed. Here I am putting Kyle Chafin's business into the world. Sorry, Kyle. Anyway, interesting fact about one of the ENEA racers while the rest of them decide to do battle on the racetrack. Cordes leading Sherman, Prince in third, and look who's moving to the outside, Ryan Lindemann in the Haviland Chevrolet. The 91 of Justin Shoup will tuck in behind him. Perrin Huggins, he pitted on that caution. Tires, fuel, maybe all the rest that he needed. Just the way that they whip off of that flat part of turn number 4. They almost look like just Formula 1 cars in the way that their cars whip from one side of the screen to the other. I absolutely love that. The 2.8. Ryan Lindemann behind Jacob Prince in that 9 single file, 4 cars deep with Michael Bennett in that 1.9. There goes Cordes into the wall. A huge crash right there. We stay green so far. Derek Sherman still with the lead. 63 laps into this race. No caution. And the 5 of Cordes damaged, and for all intents and purposes, unless he catches an incredibly lucky break with the next two cautions, out of this race. Sherman still leads. I'll give you one guess and 2 words as to what happened here. Let's have a look. What a hit indeed. What a hit indeed. Have a look. Bump drafting at its finest. And let's have another look. Bump drafting in the corner claims a 3rd race-winning contender tonight. Cody Johnson bravely goes off the racetrack. Connor Cordes gets dumped. Derek Sherman now giving up the lead to Ryan Pasoko. James Staples now behind that 42. 2-4 in the 4-2 will link up into turn 3. 3 wide as the 42 sits to the inside of that 2-8 car. 2-3 on the outside. And 3 cars back. You've got Justin Shoup in that 91. 3-4 wide. Lindemann. There goes Yetman. The 9's been involved. The 91 is spared. And the caution comes out for the 4th time tonight. And I'll give you one guess and 2 words. Yetman goes for a spill. And this time, Yetman really does get yeeted. Have a look. Oh, by now they've already gone up in smoke. Have a look with the 2-8 of Lindemann. Lined up in the middle, 3 wide. Just trying to hold it together. The 10 of Dakota Dahl looks like he might have just gotten really impatient with the 2-8's back end. How about Connor Cordes, who just came out of pit road after being dumped in turn 4 due to bump drafting. 3rd car tonight that's happened to. And he almost became a piece of this. Keep your eyes on the 10 of Dakota Dahl. The 2-8 just comes down. The 10 goes up. Nowhere for the 21 to go. Justin Shoup, very fortunate. And one more time. And the 5 of Connor Cordes just barely survived. Let's go on board with Yetman. How about Cordes surviving all of that? One more look. He survived that one too, albeit at 55 miles an hour, but hey, he survived that. One more look at Cordes. Well, and you got to give it up to that. And you know what? For moves like that, we are going to give Connor Cordes his very own cold trickle move of the race.
Ice cream.
And if you've just tuned in now, you missed a hell of a lot. Ryan Pasoko is now the race leader with Michael Bennett on the outside. James Staples is in 3rd. If anybody had 2:19.24, congratulations, you win. The 2-3 of Dakota Long on the outside here. Kyle Chafin telling Connor to go get a lottery ticket. I mean, he might as well at that point. And if you're in here and your friends aren't, then be a good friend and tell them to get in here, because this is going to be a barn burner to the end. Round number 7 in the ENEA series, really coming down to it. And I'll look for any excuse to use this shot. How about that? Shout out to everybody that's been a part so far. Racing Ricky's been in here. Jabari Rogers cheering for that one car. Well, tag says Jabari Rogers. T-Log card in here. Kyle Chafin, everybody, and you as well for tuning in. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We're about to go racing once again. Looking at the Rangers and the Astros. Still 4-2 in the bottom of the third, according to ESPN. And the 49ers trying to run it into the end zone, so they'll stop being down 10 points. Pasoko and Bennett have control of the field. The top 7 cars did not pit. Derek Sherman did. We'll see what happens in these final 60-some laps of this race. The green flag is out, and we are racing again at Atlanta. And it's Sherm who now sits ahead of Jacob Prince coming out of that second corner. Sherman in that 42 on the outside of Justin Shoup in that 91. The pride of Bealton, Virginia, works his way back up to the podium positions, but how long will he stay there? Shoup needs to be patient, but he's got to make sure he doesn't get bullied out there. Bump drafting again has been the cause of 3 crashes tonight. 4 crashes, actually, 3 cautions. Bump drafting has been the cause of 4 crashes tonight. And you know what? And I'll tell you what, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong when I say this. This race is going to be decided by someone getting dumped due to a bump draft out of 2 or 4. Just wait for it. Dakota Long leading Michael Bennett. What do we got now? 68 laps to go when they cross that line. Ryan Pasoko running in 3rd for now. The 91 of Justin Shoup to his outside. And the 49ers have scored. It is now 10-7 in Minnesota right before the end of the second half, I think. They're saying something about McCaffrey. And good for him, I suppose. The Grimace Camry continues to lead, and that giant purple face sits out front of the rest of this field. And the number 19 of Michael Bennett, his 19 Prime Chevrolet, designed specifically because his boy asked him to. How about that? No better tribute than that to one of your kids, huh? And it's a good-looking race car. I talked to him in practice. I said that 19 looks very Richard Petty. I like it. It's giving Richard Petty, and I absolutely love that paint scheme. And Bennett doing a good job as well. Pasoko in that 2 car. Now with Sherm on the outside in that 42. The number 9 of Jake Prince behind him. And the 2-8 of Ryan Lindemann with none other than Jordan Haynes in the shadows, just waiting for his right move on board with car number 1. .77 laps now underway at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Dakota Long fighting for the lead on the outside with Jacob Prince behind him through turns 1 and 2. Long winless this season. Matter of fact, everybody who's not named Perrin Huggins or Jordan Haynes is winless this season. 18 drivers without a win coming into this 7th round of the race. Racing Ricky saying too impatient. patient. How about the 9 of Jake Prince to the outside? They're getting sandwiched. They're getting squeezed. Cars bouncing off the wall. I'm not sure where to look. The number 9 on the outside of Matt Seeger in that double 8. The Hellman's Chevrolet. The rookie up 10 places from where he started. He's been patient so far. Dakota Dahl in that 10 car now on the outside. Cars getting locked up nose to tail. About a minute to go in that second quarter. Vikings up 10-7. They'll get the ball back with 60 seconds left on the clock, so I'm interested to see what they can do. Still 4-2. Texans up on the Astros. Technically, both teams are Texans, aren't they? Little pun there for you. Don't hate me. Dakota Long still leads, though. Michael Bennett up the inside, and that 19 Long throws a really... I was going to say a late block. Not really late block, but definitely going into that third corner. If Bennett was any closer, it could have been a heavy spill. And the 91 of Justin Shoup almost getting turned out of turn number 4 by Sherman, the 4-2. The 1 of Jordan Haynes looking for his 4th win this season. The Ford of Dakota Dahl behind the driver looking for his 4th win this season. And the 2-8 car, Ryan Lindemann in that Haviland Chevrolet behind the 2-4 of James Staples. 3 wide again. Sherm in the middle. Jordan Haynes on the outside. Jacob Prince trying to find a line where to run. And then 23 of Dakota Long continues to lead. One of 2 Toyotas in this race. The other one being Colton Hefner in that 4-8. Shout out to Colton Hefner. Shout out to Jacket Ray, who's also from Rockwall, Texas. Connor Cordes, 2 laps off the pace, but if he doesn't wreck his car, all he needs is 2 cautions, and he'll be, 3 cautions, because Colton Hefner's also a lap down. So 3 cautions, and Connor Cordes will get his lap back. He just has to not crash, and in the next, 50 laps of this race, that is very possible. Dakota Long ahead of Michael Bennett. Cars using all parts of the racetrack. And Racing Reiki telling his boy, the 91 of Justin Shoup, you gotta draft better, son. Let's see what the 91 can come up with. Dakota Long continues to lead in the 2-3 car. Drivers have not pitted since lap 58. Track facts will tell you they can go approximately 40 laps on 1 tank of fuel, so we should expect some pit stops soon, but not from all. Drivers like James Staples, Jordan Haynes, Matt Seeger, Lucas Reed, Perrin Huggins, Ryan Lindemann in that 2-8 car, Colton Hefner. They all pitted during the last caution. Dakota Long and company did not. Clock is ticking. Jacob Prince in that number 9 ahead of that number 1 car, the 2 of Ryan Pasoko. 3rd in line on the bottom side, the number 91 of Justin Shoup, who was in the top 5, will briefly, we hope, retire outside to the top 10 now, the double 8. Matt Seeger to the inside. Drivers getting accordion down that front straight. Dakota Long still leads. 86 laps underway. The way they jostle, look at the 19 of Mike Bennett to the inside. The 2 of Ryan Pasoko may have been forced below that red line. Down that front straight, have another look at that. 2-3 getting shoved to the high side. Take another look. Well, this is the lap prior. And how about Jordan Haynes drafting his way up to the inside of that 2-3 car? Now, the last time, the 1 and the 2-3 were nose to tail or side by side. It was the 2-3 that spun the 1 of Jordan Haynes. Jordan Haynes also spinning the 10 of Dakota Dahl due to bump drafting. Derek Sherman, the 42, he had a hand in Connor Cordes slamming the wall outside turn number 4. The 1 of Jordan Haynes just ahead of the 19 of Mike Bennett. Dakota Long in the 2-3 sits ahead of Jacob Prince in the number 9. 88 laps now completed at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and the sun shining right down on these race cars as the purple face of whatever the hell that purple thing is on the front of that 2-3 continues to lead. Has anybody actually seen what Grimace is like as a creature? Like, what would you label Grimace's creature? Is he just a Grimace? Is that his name? Is Grimace the creature's name, or is Grimace like the species of creature and they just call him that? Dakota Long getting shoved to the outside. Well, I'm trying to classify the species of fictional McDonald's characters. And let me tell you this, if Dakota Long tries that block one more time, it may not work out as well as that one just did, depending on how fast and how loose these race cars are going to be. And Jordan Haynes has no mind for lifting. These drivers are getting disrespectful with the bump drafting out here. This is going to boil over soon enough. The number 1 of Jordan Haynes now behind the 2-3 of Dakota Long. Dakota Long throwing a heavy block on Haynes. Long to the inside. Haynes now on the outside. They play a little switcheroo, and the 2-3 now has the inside lane. Pit stops on the horizon. Drivers ridiculously aggressive. The 2-3 and the 1 are out of fast repairs. If they wreck, that is their race. The 9 of Prince bump drafting the 1 well out of the way. The 19 car to the inside. Michael Bennett finds advantage 3 wide for that second position, and they start to form that third lane. The 1 of Jordan Haynes getting shoved to the outside. And it gets even wilder. Let's go on board with a driver just on the cusp of that top 10. James Staples in the 24. One driver in the wall, it's James Staples. The 2-8 of Ryan Lindemann goes to the outside, and Matt Seeger on the inside in the 8-8 Hellman's machine. And they almost make contact down that front straight. Back at the front with pit stops on the horizon. Perrin Huggins on the inside. Jordan Haynes in that 1 car behind the 9 of Jacob Prince. The number 91 of Justin Shoup behind that 1 car. Now the 9 and the 1 decidedly do not like each other. If you were here for Bristol last year, they touched and they wrecked. If you were here for Bristol this year, they touched and they wrecked. And then I think a week after that, they touched and they wrecked. And I'm distracted by the score in the Texas-Houston game. Did someone just go around? Well, I think I just called it. It's Perrin Huggins who almost just went around. He gets bump drafted out of turn number 2. He's going to lose the lead in a bunch of positions. Will he rejoin the racing surface? Jacob Prince to the lead. Jordan Haynes to his inside. Prince is in the wall. Jordan Haynes makes his way to the lead. Dakota Dahl behind the number 1 car. 96 laps complete. Jordan Haynes, new leader at Atlanta. And what in the world just happened to Perrin Huggins? Everybody just got around that 9 car. Huggins just went for a spill. How about Dakota Dahl to the inside of the 1, really pushing the issue now. Houston down 8-2, and there's the crash. There's Bennett, there's Shoup. Caution comes out just on the cusp of pit stops. Dakota Dahl being scored as the race leader. All right, let's go back and see what happened with Perrin Huggins. Yup, there it is, Dakota Long. Bump drafting Perrin Huggins once and twice. Have another look. And the bump drafting. Knocking Huggins out of the way. Long looks like he suffered from that one as well. Then there's Jacob Prince trying to stay out of the wall. Let's actually go back and see what did happen to Jacob Prince here in the 9. Prince makes it out, but then let's see what happens with Jacob Prince on the following lap. Seeger to the inside. Let's get a little closer. Prince hits the red line. He shifts up the racetrack, trying to get on the outside of Seeger. The 91 of Shoup has already gone around by this point. Shoup just comes down, and it looks like netcode. Have another look. Oh, and I'm way too early this point, but let's see if we can get a little closer. Look for the daylight between the 2 and the 91, and that's netcode. That is some serious netcode. Let's go back to the sky view. Check this out. And this is still the lap prior, but coming out of turn 3 into turn number 4, look at the 2 car of Ryan Pasoko is going to get to the inside of the 9-1 of Justin Shoup. Look for daylight between them. This might be a bad angle of all the angles to choose. No, this will work, and you can see just netcode right there. Nothing the 91 can do. Daylight between the 2 race cars. And the 19 of Mike Bennett goes airborne there too. My gosh. Look at that. Look at the 08 of Cody Johnson. How many times has Cody Johnson had to avoid an accident? Cody Byron Johnson just going right through the grass there, saving himself a lot of headache. We're going to go green again with Jordan Haynes with control of the field. Dakota Long getting back into position. We're going to restart with 30 laps to go. It'll be our 5th restart of the race. And to quote T. Lockhart, he said, "Houston, we have a problem" in that baseball game. Texas up 8-2 on the Astros. If you're interested in the Vikings and the 49ers, Vikings up 16-7 at the half. Ready to go green with 30 laps to go. Jordan Haynes with control of the field. Emily Seeger just subscribed. Must be a big fan of the rookie in the double 8. Green flag is out at Atlanta. And that kind of just says it all. We really don't need to say a word. Caution is out for the 6th time tonight. Let's have another look. Ryan Von Henschel involved. Matt Seeger was involved in that one too. The rookie made it so far. Just talking about that rookie. We'll see what happened this time. The one of Jordan Haynes, who was out of fast repairs. Got a heavy, heavy crash there. And at this point, they've already all wrecked. And Dakota Long, bump drafting the hell out of the 2 car. And in turn, getting himself spun out, wrecked. The 45 of Von Henschel didn't like it. Cody Johnson again. Cody Bart Johnson makes it through another crash. He is untouchable tonight. This is on the restart here. Let's get a little further in. Looking at the 10 of Dakota Dahl. Yeah, the 2 car of Pasoko just trying to move up the racetrack. The 2-3 of Dakota Long gives him a big bump draft into the corner. Dahl makes it through. The rest of the field does not. Remember when we said Connor Cordes was a couple laps down? Well, he might have something for him now. And you saw it Long briefly with the 1 bump draft right there. There's the first one. Long gives the 2 car a good tap down the back straight. He gives him the second one. Now it looks like it just upsets the 2 going into the corner, and from there there's just nothing that he could do. Let's have a look at the 91. Let's see if Justin Shoup made it through. He was involved in the last accident. The 88 of Seeger, hopefully he uses his fast repair. Shoup, nothing that he could do. From Colton Hefner's point of view. He was so close to making it through that as well. Jordan Haynes running in that 10th position. He did not use that fast repair the first time around, so that first caution, Jordan Haynes definitely didn't use that fast repair, and I thought he might not have, so Jordan proves me wrong. He uses his fast repair this time around, and he stays in the race. He's running in 9th, coming to the restart. And it's going to be 26 laps to go when we get the green flag. Dakota Long running in 16th. Looks like he might have used his fast repair as well, or at least he didn't catch too much damage. Looks like he's got a couple scratches there, but we'll see what he's got. Sean Anderson. We have not mentioned his name all race long. Sean Anderson will have control of the field, and the only 2 Fords in this race will be on the front row with 26 laps to go. Restart number 6 in this race as the sun sets at Atlanta. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Anderson with a great lead to lead the first lap after the restart. Jacob Prince on the outside will challenge him, but he will not beat Anderson to the line. How about James Staples, second in line on the left-hand side? Getting closer still. Perrin Huggins looking to be the first driver to win 4 races this season. Trying to get a piece of the action up here as well. Staples behind him. Anderson in that 1-3, still leading this race. And just how far will it take him? Staples in that 2-4, just ahead of Huggins. 3 wide behind them, almost. And there's 24 laps to go at Atlanta. 2 wide, soon to be 3 wide. Staples in second, Anderson at the front of this race. But for how long? 23 to go when they cross the line. Perrin Huggins, he's been quiet for the middle portion of this race, but now will he get to the front and stay there? His draft partner Dakota Long is running in 15th in this backpack with Connor Cordes, Lucas Reed, Matt Seeger, who's in 18th, 1 lap off the pace. Seeger, who was having a fantastic run tonight, just a victim in a crash that he had nothing to do with. Bump drafting, responsible for at least 5 crashes tonight, 4 of them being yellows. Sean Anderson, James Staples, and Perrin Huggins will cross the line with double deuce on the board. 21 to go next time by, and defending champion Cody Johnson, who has avoided every accident he has gone through, sitting in the 4th position, up 11 places from where he started. And then you got Sherm. Derek Sherman to you. He has not raced in ENEA since King Henry VIII was ruler of England, and now he sits in the 9th position. He's got a chance to win this. We'll see. But remember what I said earlier. Hopefully the race doesn't end that way. Anderson ahead of Staples. Huggins in that 8th spot, the 0-8 of Cody Johnson behind him, and it will be 2-0 to go this time by, and then 1-9 at the line. On board with Dakota Dahl, he's in 10th. .17 laps to go when they cross the line this time. Sean Anderson rock solid at the front of this race. Perrin Huggins second on the outside line with defending champion Cody Brooke Johnson leading this one. And the 4-2, Derek Sherman, making some noise on his first race back to ENEA since fire was discovered. The 0-8 of Cody Johnson now has Huggins to deal with on the outside. Sweet 16 laps to go next time by. 42 of Sherman behind the 9, and it's the draft battle that will carry this race all the way to the end. Perrin Huggins on the top side. Will he cut down to the middle and leave the 9 of Jacob Prince? 49ers and Vikings are playing again. The 49ers have the ball with 12:16 to go in the 3rd. Looking at the Houston-Texas game. Astros down 6 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Perrin Huggins continues to lead, but he's going to stay on the outside. He's not going to ditch his draft partner up top. 15 laps remain in Atlanta. Huggins going for his 4th win this season. Jordan Haynes also going for his 4th win this season. I'll say it again, bump drafting has been the catalyst of at least half the crashes tonight. Will it be the catalyst of the deciding move? Will the winning move be someone getting turned on a bump draft? We're going to find out 14 and a half laps from now. Maybe even more if this goes to overtime, which it very well might. Cody Johnson sits ahead of Sean Anderson, who's trying to go to the outside. Perrin Huggins will come behind the 1-3, but how about James Staples with Dakota Dahl behind him? Staples, new this year. Dahl, new this year. Cody Johnson on the top side and the 2-4 of Staples beneath him. Sean Anderson in the 13, second in line on the high side. Dakota Dahl with a huge gap back to the 48 of Colton Hefner, running in 9th. Hefner, who has been outside of the top 10 all race long until now. Cody Johnson to the lead with Perrin Huggins to the outside. Johnson holds on for now, but Huggins beats him to the line. 13 laps to go. Jake Prince, second in line. Perrin Huggins leading this race. Cody Brian Johnson just behind Jacob Prince, and he's going to get a great run out of turn number 4. All eyes on car 08. Johnson to the inside, no more drafting partners as Prince cuts to the top side, and it's the last 30 dozen at Atlanta with the 8 of Perrin Huggins second in line. Cody Johnson just waiting for a draft partner. Sherm on the outside will stay loyal to the top line, and here comes Jordan Haynes battling Jacob Prince for the 4th win this season. Haynes is in the wall. Haynes is in the wall. 3 wide, and he's watching win number 4 slip through his fingers in the Atlanta sunset. The 08 of Cody Johnson to the inside with James Staples behind him, and put 11 laps to go on the board. Sean Anderson waits for his turn, and he ducks right down to the inside with Dakota Dahl behind him. And again, the only 2 Fords in this race now running 1-2. Johnson forces the move, and Dakota Dahl doesn't give it up. Johnson back up onto the racetrack. There goes the 2-4 of Staples, who's been caught in it. The caution comes out, and we will restart inside the final 10 laps of racing. Cody Johnson forcing his way to the inside of Dakota Dahl. James Staples, the innocent bystander in that crash. Let's have a look. And they've already wrecked at this point. And there you see the 08. I want to go back and see who had the advantage. That black 1-0 car, Dakota Dahl, will sneak behind here. Now the defending champion in that 08 Flow Racing car will get to the inside. The 08 has 2 tires on the inside. There he goes again. And the 10 of Dahl, oh my gosh, the 08 was there. The 10 of Dahl just throws the block. The 08 of Cody Johnson tells Dakota Dahl what he thinks of that move. Jordan Haynes sneaks through. He's in 5th. Jabari Rogers saying he's still there. He's still got time. Let's have another look. Watch the move from Dahl. Just a fantastic move from Dakota Dahl. Great run from the 42 of Sherman. He ducks down to the inside, and Sean Anderson is right there. Watch the 08. Dakota Dahl is above the white. Well, not quite. He does leave room. Dakota Dahl leaves enough room for the 08 to advance, and it looks like Dahl just tries to throw the block a little bit late. 42 and the 2-4 get together. Lots of pushing and shoving with 10 laps to go, and Sean Anderson, still your race leader. And this is going to be an incredible finish. It absolutely, and you know it will be. You absolutely know it's going to be an incredible finish. Drivers making their last pit stops, and I don't think this is going to be the last restart of the night, but we're going to go for a ride, so hang on. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 60-second break, and we'll be back with the final 7 laps of regulation racing from Atlanta. So Sean Anderson will have control of the field coming to 7 laps to go. Jacob Prince on the outside. Perrin Huggins going for his 4th win this season. Jordan Haynes restarting behind the 8 car. Haynes, the 2-3 of Long, the 4-2 of Sherman. All have been a product of bump drafting crashes tonight. The green flag comes out with 7 laps to go. And we'll see just how far they make it. Remember, 2 restarts ago, they crashed in turn number 3 straight away. Anderson with the lead, Huggins behind him. There goes Haynes. Six to go this time. Huggins looking to the outside. Anderson, no one to help him advance on the front straight. Haynes behind the 8 and the 9 furiously shoving into turn number 1. This bump drafting is going to get somebody here. Jacob Prince has made it publicly clear he does not like the one of Jordan Haynes. Perrin Huggins continues to lead, and the bump drafting gets only worse behind them. Colton Hefner in the 48 on the outside, and the 13 of Sean Anderson has been shoved all the way to the back. 5 to go. Look at Jordan Haynes. There goes the 1, and this is going to be huge. Number 9 also been involved. Jordan Haynes caught a piece of that. There's Jacob Prince. He caught a piece of that, and we're going to restart with a green-white checker. Caution number 8 for those who have lost count. Let's have a look. Cody Johnson. Anybody else just see Cody Johnson almost avoid all of that? Have another look. Keep your eye on that 08. Have a look at the 9 of Prince. Watch for the bump drafting here. Yup, just upsets the 1 car. The 08 of Cody Johnson almost avoids this one. Cody McFadden unnecessarily involved. Michael Bennett caught a piece of this. What did the 1 of Haynes have to say about this one? These two have had words before. Did Haynes come and say anything to Prince after the fact? Nope, Jordan Haynes is going to keep his cool. One more look here from the blimp if we can. Keep your eyes on that blue, yellow, red number 9 and the black number 1. Bump drafting out of that dog leg in turn 4. Have a look. The 1 just got upset, and there it is. Jordan Haynes does a few spins, comes over to a halt. Jacob Prince will restart ahead of Jordan Haynes. And this will undoubtedly be... They either won't touch, or the first thing they're going to do is wreck each other. There is no in-between here. This is not going to end well for any of these guys. But Perrin Huggins still has control of the field. It will be 2 laps to go when they restart this race. So it will be our first green-white checker attempt of 3, as we do. Connor Cordes, the pride of Kansas City, Missouri, up to the 9th position. Michael Bennett in that excellent red and blue Richard Petty-esque prime paint scheme that he designed for his son. Up to 7th. Tanner Lockhart asking for the odds for another wreck. Minus 100? No. Honestly, I would put the odds for another wreck probably at minus 250. No joke, but we'll find out here. Ryan Von Henschel in the 45. Sean Anderson, who actually led several laps tonight. We'll see if he stays ahead in this one. Dakota Dahl in that 10. Dakota Long in the 2-3, already pushing the 8 of Perrin Huggins. Cody Johnson, defending champion on the outside. We'll see just how far they decide to make it before the caution comes out again. They may make it all 2 laps. We're going to find out. The pace truck is going to peel off. This is going to be thrilling, chaotic. It's going to be everything that you expect iRacing to be at a drafting track. So here we go. Next gen cars for 3 more miles at Atlanta. Let's go racing. Sherman loose. Reed loose at the back of the field. Huggins continues to lead. Johnson trying to side draft his way ahead of the competition. Huggins still leads. Haynes at the back of this field. Prince ahead of him. Will they make it to the white flag? Here comes Pasoko on the outside with Von Henschel beneath him. They will indeed make it to the white flag. Will they wreck behind them? They are so close out there on that racetrack. Perrin Huggins continues to lead. Look at the mess behind them. There goes Pasoko. There goes Staples. Huge wreck. Prince has been involved. Haynes makes it through. Still crashing ahead of them. There goes Dakota Dahl. Dakota Long now behind Perrin Huggins. Jordan Haynes has been involved. Huggins leading. There goes Long. Bump drafting Huggins. Spinning him out in turn number 3. Long to the inside. Huggins to the outside. They will drag race to the line, and it is Perrin Huggins who wins at Atlanta. Four wins this season. Four wins this season, and in sensational fashion, Perrin Huggins extends his lead at the top in a hard-fought win. There's the last lap. Derek Sherman getting into Ryan Pasoko. Have another look here at the 42. And this one, not really a case of bump drafting, just Sherman getting loose in the corner. Now check out what happens to Dakota Dahl on this one as well. Looks like he also went around. Yup. Von Henschel goes up on Dahl. Nowhere for Haynes to go. He goes full speed into the corner. There's Dakota Long. Bump drafting and not lifting into turn number 3. Getting Perrin Huggins loose. Huggins will have to fight back Dakota Long to win this one. Lucas Reed caught up in that one. One more look at the white flag here. Keep your eye on the 42 and the 2. Really, just nothing that could be done. Genuinely, nothing that could be done there. Von Henschel comes up onto the 10 where he's racing. He gets collected. Jordan Haynes decides to not hit the brakes and go full speed. Dakota Long gets to the inside of Perrin Huggins. Huggins will come down and try to block. He comes down right on Long's front end, and these two will hammer each other back and forth on the front straight. Sean Anderson comes home in the 2nd position. Dakota Long collects 3rd. Perrin Huggins will come away with the victory. Fans at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to have top 3 in just a moment. On the podium now with our top three, starting with the driver of that number 23 Grimace Camry, Dakota Long, back on the podium. Thrilling race tonight.
Yes, sir. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad to be back here. It's been a while.
What more did it take to get around that 8 car? It seemed to get really pushy at the end.
I knew going into going to walk through the restart right here. I knew that Sean and Cody was going to try to team up, and I was like, Perry, I was just going to push it until the final lap into 3, and then it's best man wins. And he went up, and I tried to get under him. I got under him. I seen he was sideways when I got under him, and I should have just kept it going, kept the throttle down, but I ain't going to wreck Perry, and I just kind of lifted, and then we just side drafted to the line, and he just outside, he just pulled me back. It was a good finish.
We'll see you in a week at North Wilkesboro. Congratulations on 3rd.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Sean Anderson, driver of that number 13 Polaris Ford. Sean, so close. You led a lot of laps tonight, man. Good run.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was a crazy ending there. I was just trying to keep the car clean in the beginning and not get taken out. Didn't want to have to repair too much damage at the end. And I knew Dakota and Perrin were going to try to team up and work together. And I tried getting with Cody, and we just couldn't get hooked up in that last restart. Those two in front of us were just gone. And once I saw him door, and I thought I had a shot, but a little bit too short at the end there. But congrats to Perrin on the win.
Congrats indeed, and congratulations on 2nd place. You stay 3rd in the points. We'll see you next week at North Wilkesboro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Shout out to the folks over at Access Fishing for bringing us this top step of the podium interview. Folks, head on over to accessfishingal.com. Get yourself your custom soft plastic quality baits for the everyday angler at that everyday angler price. accessfishingal.com. Perrin Huggins, 2 wins for the Driven Paint Scheme now, and that's 4 wins this season in 7 starts. You and Jordan Haynes share all the victories, and next week you go for 5 at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, the Hayes race was luck. I thought that I was wrecked nose first in the wall in the last turn, but I somehow saved it, and me and Code beaten banged our way to a photo finish. Yeah, I had a blast. That was something else.
Congratulations on that W, man. We'll see you next week at North Wilkesboro.
Heck yeah, appreciate it.
Fans at home, that does it for another chapter of ENEA Racing. 7 rounds in the books, and then next week we take it to what I think might be the shortest track on the circuit, the North Wilkesboro Speedway, where it's going to be incredibly tough to pass. You want to see some beating and banging, come back next week. And then the Gen 4 cars this Thursday at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thursday Night Thunder rides again here on Rick James TV, 8:40 Eastern Thursday night. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all around